Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Learning with Roli and Rohan. Today we will read New Mulberry English Course Book Class 5 Chapter number 7 The Big Friendly Giant. This is the chapter and the page number is 91. Let us read about a boy called Danny who loved the stories that his father told him. My father was not what you would call an educated man, and I doubt if he had read 20 books in his life, but he was a marvelous storyteller. He used to make up a bedtime story for me every single night, and the best one turned into serials and went on for many nights running. One of them, which must have gone on for at least 50 nights, was about an enormous fellow called the Big Friendly Giant, or the BFG for short. The BFG was 3 times tall as an ordinary man, and his hands were big as wheelbarrows. The meaning of wheelbarrows is small hand-pushed carts. He lived in a vast underground cavern. Cavern means a cave not far from our filling station. Filling station is known as petrol pump. And he only came out into the open when it was dark. Inside the cavern, he had a powder factory where he made more than 100 different kinds of magic powder. Occasionally, as he told his stories, my father would stride up and down, waving his arms and waggling his fingers, but mostly he would sit close to me on the edge of my bunk and speak very softly. The meaning of waggly and bunk is waggling, a moving something with short movements from side to side or up and down. Bunk meaning is a narrow bed that is fixed with a wall. And speak very softly. The big friendly giant makes his magic powders out of the dreams that children dream when they are asleep. He said, "How?" I asked. "Tell me how, Dad." "Dreams, my love, are very mysterious things. You see, they float around in night air like little clouds searching for sleeping people." "Can we see them?" I asked. "Nobody can see them." "Then how does the BFG or Big Friendly Giant catch them?" "Oh," my father said, "that is the interesting part. A dream, you see, as it goes drifting through the night air, makes a tiny buzzing humming sound, a sound so soft and low it is impossible for an ordinary people to hear it, but the BFG can hear it easily. His sense of hearing is absolutely fantastic." I loved the far intent look on my father's face when he was telling a story. His face was pale and still and distant, unconscious of everything around him. The BFG said, "Can hear the tread." Meaning of tread is the sound of footsteps, of a ladybird's footstep as she walks across a leaf. He can hear the whispers of ants as they scurry. Meaning of scurry is move quickly with short steps around in the soil, taking to one another. He can hear the sudden shrill. Meaning of shrill is loud and forceful. Cry of a tree gives out when a woodman cuts into with an axe. Ah, yes, my darling, there is a whole world of sounds around us, what we cannot hear, but because our ears are simply no sensitive enough. What happens when he catches the dreams? I asked. He imprisons them in glass bottles and screws. Meaning of screws is closed a lid by turning it round and round. Okay? The tops and down. Tight, my father said. He has thousands of these bottles in his cave. Does he catch bad dreams as well as good ones? Yes, my father said he catches both, but he only uses the good one in his powders. What does he do with the bad ones? He explodes them. It is impossible to tell you how much I love my father. When he was sitting close to me on my bunk, I would reach out and slide my hand into his, and then he would fold his long fingers around my fist, holding it tight. What does the BFG do with his powders after he has made them? I asked. In the dead of the night, my father said he goes prowling through the village, searching for houses where children are asleep. Because of his great height, he can reach windows that are 1 and even 2 flights up. When he finds a room with a sleeping child, he opens his suitcase. His suitcase? I asked. The BFG always carries a suitcase and a blowpipe. My father said the blowpipe is as long as a lamp post. The suitcase is for powder, so he opens the suitcase and selects exactly the right powder, and he puts it into the blowpipe, and he slides the blowpipe in through the open window, and poof, he blows in the powder, and the powder floats around the room, and the child breathes it in. And then what? I asked. And then Danny the child begins to dream a marvelous and a fantastic dream. And when the dream reaches its most marvelous and fantastic moment, then the magic powder really takes over, and suddenly the dream is not a dream any longer but a real happening, and the child is not asleep in bed, he is fully awake, is actually in the place of the dream, and it's taking part in the whole thing. I mean really part in real life. More about that tomorrow. It's getting late. Good night, Danny. Go to sleep. My father kissed me, and then he turned down the wick of the little paraffin lamp until the flame went out. He seated him in the front of wood stove, which now made a lovely red glow in the dark room. Written by Danny, the champion of the world, adapted. This is written by Roli Sidhant was born in Cardiff. This is written by Roli Sidhant. Thank you, friends. I have read the story The Big Friendly Giant. So please like and subscribe. Bye bye. We will meet in next video. Bye bye.